Exercise time. This is very much a follow-up of what we had discussed previously. And for the exercise, we will be combining those three shapes that we just spoke about: the tube, the cube, and the 3D rectangle. For practice, you can just start. And here you can see that I'm doing what I preach. So in this case, this is cheap printer paper that I have available with me at all times to practice, just to throw a couple ideas. So just for starters, I'm just going to do a couple of basic shapes to warm up. You might be thinking, what is the correct ratio in regards to the box that makes the head and the box that makes the torso? My recommendation here is to experiment and to practice, because you don't want to be stuck, and I'm guilty of this as well, but you don't want to be stuck always drawing the same character. So practice with different shapes, with different lengths, with different variations, because that will also make the characters that you draw interesting, especially if you're drawing a situation where there are multiple characters existing in the same scene. You do want to be able to draw someone that has a big torso, a big chest, but maybe they have a small head. You do want to have that variation in your drawing so that it is visually interesting and it's not just a rehash of the same character. But coming back to the exercise, here I'm just drawing my basic shapes. I'm just warming up. The head is a rectangle. I go to bed sleeping thinking about it. The head is a rectangle. And the neck is, depending on the length, either a square, or another rectangle. And the chest almost always is a rectangle. In the case of infants, the chest length, right, is a bit closer to the head, as they are still developing. So depending on the stage of development of the person, again, different lengths. I'm not yet combining them, and I'm just keeping in flat 2 dimensions here, this part, not really overthinking. I'm keeping my lines smooth, flowing, butter smooth. This is very important. And this is also, like I've been saying for the previous lessons, your lines do need to be comfortable. You need to be able to draw the medium line. You should avoid doing the chicken scratching. You should avoid that. So do take these moments to practice your line confidence as well. Even if you're just drawing basic shapes. And this exercise applies to both novice and even experienced illustrators. I do it myself. Not that I'm experienced, but this is an important exercise, gaining line confidence. It is very easy to have line confidence for these basic shapes, but as we start to get into more advanced shapes, as we get into the human body, having these fundamentals and the line confidence in your hands to draw a straight line or a curved line as well, without a lot of interruptions, it will show in your final drawing as well. Line confidence is very important. And again, like I said before, even if you do chicken scratching, there is a time and a place for it. It really depends on the style that you're chasing. If you're looking for a more sketchy feel, or if you're looking for a more cleaner line look, you need to experiment. This is very important. You do need to experiment. So now that I did my drills, I did my basic shapes, it's time for me to start doing them in 3D. So for the head, this, the neck, this, and then for the torso, the chest, essentially this. And I can draw multiple of them like I just did before. It's okay to repeat the same thing. This repetition is what builds line confidence. So this is very important. Don't be afraid to do it multiple times. You can even do it in reverse if you're feeling more adventurous. And in reverse, it's when your brain starts to fry a bit. And why it's also important to gain confidence drawing in reverse. This is a part of an exercise that we're gonna have upcoming, but it is very hard. It is very challenging. So here I went ahead and already combined the shapes. The tube could be a bit more connected to the middle, but it's okay. We have here our chest and neck and head mannequin, and we keep burning through our printer paper. We just keep practicing doing these shapes ad nauseum, trying different angles, seeing what works. This is very important as well, seeing what works, seeing which angles we are comfortable with. Myself, I'm not comfortable drawing at every single angle. This is important to understand. And I think everyone ends up having a preference for drawing at a different angle. So a bit of an anecdote, but in my case, so here I'm imagining this is from behind the person, but in my case, for example, I'm much more comfortable drawing the character from this angle which is facing this direction. I'm much more comfortable from this angle than drawing to the reverse angle. It is a bit more challenging for me, but I'm practicing. I'm definitely practicing. So you'll probably have your preferences as well in regards to illustration, drawing different angles. You can see here that I drew the character with more of a pointed chin, but I can make it a bit more square looking, a bit more rugged, let's say. And the brush is actually working extra thick, so there isn't a whole lot of refinement in my lines, but it's just also for ease of visibility into the recording. Yeah, more practicing. We're just going completely bananas. We're going bananas with our lines. With all our tubes. So maybe here the person is looking upwards because you're not able to see this side. But let me do it again. Because again, we are going completely bananas with our boxes. This piece is super important because you don't want to be comfortable. You want to be comfortable drawing the mannequin. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, you just paid for a course that has no application for you because you don't want to be comfortable drawing the mannequin. That's the whole point. The whole course can be, in a way, summarized as let's learn how to draw the mannequin in 3D and then draw the human body from there. And this is the whole exercise, combining shapes, and you're free to start with any shape that you want of the combo. Just going through the shapes, becoming comfortable with drawing the shapes. Because then it will come to a point where, oh, what's this? We're extending. We're extending the human body. And that's going to be the point of the next couple of lessons here. We're start to get into the actual human body. A couple more lines. By the way, don't forget that if you want to get fancy, you can start adding the triangle that I just added here, which is a trapezius. Don't forget the trapezius as well, but for the purposes of this exercise, it's not a deal breaker that you do the trapezius. Because we will be focusing on those important lines in the upcoming lessons. Just burning through our paper. And of course, one of the things that starts to happen is that you, by practicing this, eventually you will get to a point, especially when you start taking in the lessons from the upcoming lessons, which is, okay, now it's time to actually draw, right? Without employing the mannequin, but you can start doing it in reverse, which is, and by mannequin I mean the 3D shapes that we're just discussing, which is doing the reverse thing. which is, I have this, right? And the ears, I made a mistake here, the ears should be here. You can grab a red pen and you start to do this. Which is apply the box. Into your objects, into your faces. So I'll do this one again. And this time I'll be mindful of the wrong placement of the ear. And for me, it's already a workout, a mental workout, because I'm drawing the face looking at an angle that I'm not always the most comfortable drawing this angle. So this for me is also an opportunity to practice as well. Our trapezius, like I said before, we have a triangle happening here. We're going to be talking about these lines that I'm drawing over here in a bit. So I'm gonna, just for the fun of it, I'm gonna add some air. Keeping it a bit loose as well. So these sketches are very loose. I'm giving myself the option to make errors, because this is practice. Practice is all about this, is drawing the same thing relentlessly until you are able to draw it comfortably. And then and this, from this practice, is also where I can potentially extract characters for my drawings. Is, okay, is there something here that could be potentially interesting for a drawing? So maybe I take one sheet, which I already burned through so many sheets, but I take this sheet over here, and I have here, and maybe I'll try to, okay, does this work in the context of a drawing? Can I make something out of it? And this process of brainstorming, which granted I don't always have the time for, but when I do appreciate it, because it helps the final drawings. So here I made a mistake because I was considering, instead of the ponytail, having the hair extend all the way to the base of the neck, but maybe the ponytail is a bit more interesting. So the neck would have to be here, my tube connects here. So now I do have to do this, do it right. So I'll take another sheet of paper. Maybe I'll simplify my shapes a bit. I'm gonna keep the ponytail for this time. Ponytail time. Yeah, it's this process of iteration and practice that is very important, and where you also detect your shortcomings and areas of improvement. So we're going to finish this section here. The whole point is to iterate and to draw and combine those shapes that we spoke about, those basic shapes, until you are comfortable drawing them as well. So we did go into a bit of a detour here, but now I'm also trying to draw this character correctly as well, using these shapes, because I would like to make use of this character. This one right over here, I would like to make use of this character for an upcoming drawing. So I'm also thinking if there's anything that I want to address. I mean, the neck here is correct. Here, yeah. So I will see you on the next lesson.